honor, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Hakdash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect of the Hebrew Israelites. This is the brother Arakia coming back with another lesson. Okay, I'm trying out this live streaming. It's my first time trying it out on this channel on YouTube. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so in this video I want to speak about how that Friday the 13th is some BS, that's some bull crap, because tomorrow's date is so-called June 13th, which is a so-called Friday. Okay, and there is this superstition behind this day, and we hopefully elect who read the scriptures, we believe in the scriptures, we are not affected by any fear for some date on the Gregorian calendar. Okay, because we know. So let's open up with that scripture. We know that, and I don't know if I should have put a title for this before going live, but I don't know fully how this works out yet, so just trying it out as well. But let's open up with the scripture. In Genesis, okay, because we are supposed to use the new moon, okay, for that's the beginning of the month, okay, when there's a new moon, okay, not no damn first day of the Gregorian calendar, okay, for example, the first day of May, the first day of June, or first day of July. We are not going by these damn Gregorian calendar days, and we know that when it's the new moon, that is the first day of the month, okay, which is also a Sabbath, okay, and then we observe the Sabbath based on the new moon, okay. After 2 weeks of the new moon is the full moon, and again after 2 weeks the moon is faded away, and then there's a new moon, okay, and the word month comes from the word moon, okay. And even in Finnish, when you say the word month is kuukausi, which means month, season, okay. Kuu is month, solakia, moon season, because kuu is moon and then kausi is season, okay. So this is Genesis 1:14, and the Most High said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for season and for days and years." Okay, and the day is observed by the sun, because when the sun goes down, that's the beginning of the new day. You see, it's not when in your area the time is so-called midnight that the new day begins. Okay? No, that's not that's not how the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai set these things up. Okay. Let me get the scripture also. Okay, this is Genesis 1:5, and the Most High, actually it's Alahayam, okay, because this is talking about Yahweh Shai and the angels, okay. The word that should be there is God's, Alahayam, okay, so I'm going to read how it should be. And Alahayam called the light day, and the darkness he called, or the darkness they called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. So you see, the new day begins in the evening when the sun has went down. Okay, that's the beginning of the new day. Okay, not at the midnight. You see. So you see, first and foremost, we use the moon to observe these different seasons and not the Gregorian calendar, man. Okay, and second of all, it's funny because there is people who are, supposed to be, that they don't believe in anything. They say that, they have the mindset of like, believing in the Most High is childish or is naive, and I just Big Bang and all that. Esau like that. Where I'm at, this country is mainly Esau. But then they believe in the damn Friday the 13th. So if some bad thing happen, hey, it's Friday the 13th. So hey, you figure, that's makes sense. So they have these beliefs for these trivial things of vanity, but then and there's a lot of people who are buying into this bullcrap. Okay, Friday the 13th, man. For us, it's day like any other. If the Sabbath falls on it, then it's different. But or some high holiday. But other than that, Friday the 13th, we wake up, we make the prayers and we keep it moving. Okay, it's the same as usual. Okay, so this so-called Friday 13th, it don't affect our mindset. Okay, it don't affect our thinking patterns. Okay, so this from Wikipedia. Let me read a little bit. Okay, it says Friday the 13th is considered an unlucky day in Western superstition. Okay, and then when you go into the word superstition, it says it is any belief or practice considered by non-practitioners to be irrational or supernatural, attributed to fate or magic. Okay, so let me continue. But you can see how this is bullcrap. It continues. It is commonly let me continue. Attributed to fate or magic, perceived supernatural influence, or fear of that which is unknown. It is commonly applied to beliefs and practices surrounding luck, amulets, astrology, fortune-telling, spirits, and certain paranormal entities. Okay, so you can see that this is, on the left-hand side, where you can have on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side, the Most High can send you, these visions. Okay, but it's because it says here that particularly the belief that future events can be foretold by specific unrelated prior events. Well, to just put it in basic terms, we have the scriptures which have the prophecies, and by that we know what is going to happen. Okay, but it's not something which is unrelated, because in the scriptures, you have the prophets saying, for example, Babylon the Great going to be destroyed. So that's how we know it's going to happen. We have John in the island of Patmos. He prophesied about the mark of the beast. Okay, which is the micro CHIP. So we know it's going to happen. Okay. So it's based on faith, but this superstition, they have this going more so into witchcraft, on the left hand side, Yeah, man. So let me see. Friday the 13th, it occurs when the 13th day of the month in the Gregorian calendar falls on a Friday, which happens at least once every year, but can occur up to 3 times in the same year. Okay, let me move on. Because it says here social influence. Okay, it says here social influence. Okay, it says, according to the Stress Management Center, and Phobia Institute in Asheville, North Carolina, an estimated 17 to 21 million people in the United States are affected by paraskevidekatriaphobia, which is fear of Friday the 13th. That's some bullcrap. How are you gonna how are you gonna fear a date, man, on the Gregorian calendar? That's madness. That's complete madness. We're supposed to fear the Most High, and that's it. So there are estimated 17 to 21 million people in the US that are affected by this. And it's the same as, these so-called atheists, they say that, they don't believe in anything, they're atheists. But actually, they do believe, their gods are these, fucking Edomites that came up with that bullshit like Darwin, believing some evolution that we, evolved from fish, from fucking fish or lizards to, little by little became, monkeys, whatnot, then human beings. I mean, so but yeah, if you still believe that, I don't know what to tell you, man. Okay, but their gods are these, Darwin and all these, scientists that come up with this bullshit, like Big Bang, and all this stuff. So actually, they say they are atheists, but they actually do believe. They do have these different gods that they subscribe to. They have these different things. They believe in Friday the 13th. Okay. So they do believe in something, but it's just trash, But we are honored to believe in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. You see? Okay, let me continue a bit more. It says, making it the most feared date in history. And that's a fucked up name. There's a, phobia for the fear of Friday the 13th, which is paraskevidekatriaphobia. Okay, it says paraskevi is Friday, dekatreis is 13 and phobia. So, like I said, we're not affected by it, okay? Some people are so paralyzed by fear that they avoid their normal routines in doing business, taking flights, or even getting out of bed. So imagine you're so feared of some damn date of Friday the 13th that you just, make a decision that today, I'm not getting out of bed, I'm just, I'm just calling in sick. I'm just, that's mad. It has been estimated that 1,800 to 1,900 millions of US dollars is lost in business on this day. Despite this, representatives for both Delta Airlines and Continental Airlines, the latter now merged into United Airlines, have stated that their airlines do not suffer from any noticeable drops in travel on those Fridays. Now, this is interesting because this is Wikipedia in English, but next they're gonna mention Finland. Okay, it says in Finland, a consortium of governmental and non-governmental organizations led by the Ministry of Social Affairs and Health promotes the National Accident Day to raise awareness about automotive safety, which always falls on a Friday the 13th. So they are pretty much, they're giving their energy, they're giving their spirit to this day, man. Okay. The event is coordinated by Finnish Red Cross and has been held since 1995. Okay. So, what it more so goes into that, this is just one of the days on the left-hand side Okay, because as you have also, which Elder Apostle Gabar goes into it, is this Feast of the Beast. Okay, from April 19th into the May 1st. Okay, which May is they used for May Day. Okay, for something disastrous, but even those, as long as we have the faith and belief in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, we're good. That's it. So none of these things. And now, there's a lot of people who are, being harvested to believe in these dates. So subconsciously, they're already being afraid and, then making, possibly some, silly moves, some silly mistakes. But the scriptures speak about who perished being innocent, So for us, hopefully elect, we don't take, we are not afraid of this day. Okay, Friday the 13th. It doesn't, give us trembling. The scriptures say. Let me actually close out the lesson with that. It says in Philippians. Okay, Philippians chapter 2, verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Okay, so we're not supposed to be, fearing and trembling because of some damn Friday the 13th. We're supposed to be fearing Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, working out our own salvation. Okay, that's where it's at. So, Lord willing, this video was edifying. In closing, I want to give all praise, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem HaKadosh. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. And hey, it's on to the next one. Shalom.